Hello. Let me pin my screen and we will get started. I'm going to put our document for today into the chat. I apologize for my tardiness. I had in my calendar that we were using. Hello again. Apparently I lost my connection. I had in my calendar a school live link, and so I was over there getting ready to read the cards for crickets. You are totally good. I think Jen is joining us. Oh, thank you. Let's pin our document. It looked like I was admitting Jen, but don't know. That happened last time too.
There's a little bit of a delay sometimes. It pops up. It's like, hey, this is being recording. Are you sure you want to join? So you have to click that button and then you're all the way in.
Thank you. That makes sense. All right, I'm going to start recording. Oh, we're already recording. Fantastic. All right, so hello, I'm Stephanie, and today we are working on our business clarity using tarot. I was just really what I was doing. I have a paper planner, a happy planner, which I love, and love the layout because I get to see a whole week on one page. So I have all the days and plus this extra space up here. That's usually where I put my to do every week list, like my social media clients things. But I have been cheating a little bit on my planner with this adulting to do list. So we've got tasks and appointments, people to contact reluctantly. The checklist includes wearing pants, matching socks, ate a vegetable, and didn't set anything on fire. I can't always check that one. So, yes, let me move our doc over where I can see it. Okay, we're going to start by drawing one card together. The question for today from the Biddy Tarot app is, what inner wisdom is ready to rise to the surface today? And the link for the doc we're using is pinned in the chat. I'll also share the link with the replay for our friends who are on team replay today. All right, so I'm using the Biddy Tarot, and this is a card that's been coming up a good bit for me lately. Inner wisdom ready to rise to the surface today is the Five of Cups. This is a card about grief and loss. You see the cups are spilled and the contents are lost. But behind the person, what they don't see is that two cups are still standing. I have managed or dealt with a lot of grief in my life. It feels like a couple of lifetimes worth. And so that is subconsciously something that I've carried with me. I'm doing work and have been consistently doing work for a couple of years to release those experiences. And so the Five of Cups always reminds me about the two cups in the back. There really are a lot of blessings and things that are going for me that are great and not, they remind me so much that the future doesn't have to look like the past. It can be completely different. It doesn't have to be just like the things I've been through before. I can have whole new experiences, better experiences. I was just doing some of that work the other day with a mindset reset bot. If anybody is interested, I can put that link in the chat. That was, yes, ma'am. Okay. Actually, I'll probably share it afterward in the groups. Where do you come into the tarot readings from? Do you come from Crossroads or DSC?
That's a great question. I saved the event to my calendar, so I just came in from my calendar, and I don't remember where I saved it from.
Okay, great. I'm wondering then if it was through Crossroads, because I think my link in Digital Spellcasters may have been the incorrect school link.
Okay. And I do know I'm in your community as well, though.
Yes, and thank you. Thank you for being over there. I always appreciate seeing you pop up with comments and things. You were having some moon circles, right?
Yeah, for in my community, I do moon circles every new moon and full moon. It doesn't always land right on there because it's on Sundays, but as
Sure.
close as we can get.
Okay, cool. You're welcome to post about those each week if you like.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so does anybody want to share anything they got from the card they pulled? If you pulled a card about the inner wisdom that's rising.
Yeah, so I went with an oracle deck. I went with Angelic Vibrations Oracle, and I pulled doubt. So I might have to feel into a little bit what that means, but she looks so like beautiful and like there's light shining on her, but she's in her head. She's not noticing the light shining on her.
Yeah.
It's like there's a almost like sereneness there, but also like locked in within. So it's not like a peaceful, serene, like taken in the environment. So I don't know. I've planted a lot of seeds. I'm watering a lot of seeds, but there is a part of me that's like, is this actually going to turn into anything? Is it worth putting all this effort into it? I'm having so much fun, but am I ever going to pay my bills doing these things? So there is like a protector part almost. It's like kind of keeping tabs, like, girl, be careful where you put all your effort because you have to water things that are actually growing in a way that eventually is going to pay your bills. Because if you can't pay your bills, you can't help anyone. So there's there's part of me that's like so hopeful and having so much fun, and then a part of me that's also doubtful, and I don't want to like make that a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yes, I understand that completely. Really having a Seven of Pentacles moment where you're evaluating, is it time yet to count the harvest? Are we hanging in for a while before we start counting? I've got a couple of things that are in that kind of status right now too, so I understand. And I'm always getting into something else new. I have ADD and I'm a manifesting generator, and so I just like to get in all kind of things. And then Pisces moon and rising, so if it's intuitive or witchy, yeah, I'm probably going to try it if I haven't already.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. I have ADHD as well, and I'm a manifester. So I have all these ideas, but not always enough energy to actually sustain them to the end. So I have to be careful because I'm like trying to do 5 different things, and I'm like, there's not enough energy in here to actually do those. So like I have to pick seasons or ways to like make it make sense.
Yes, yes. I am working on, with my paper planner, I'm working on picking my priority task for the day and doing that first. When I'm most awake is what matters, not whether it's first or second. But I'm most awake when I first get started. So for me, that's the right time to do my one, like, yes, I need to get this done item. All right, so you will have just had a moon circle then recently, Sunday?
Yep, I just had it Sunday.
Cool. Did you get any insights from that that you'd like to share?
Um, we did a guided journey around like releasing what's heavy, but also celebrating like what we cultivated.
Yes.
And I've been using, I think I might have shared them with you before, like these new cards I'm using to help kind of guide the journey
Mm-hmm.
because it has like the cycles of the moon and the signs, the elements, all of that. So I've been feeling into these cards as I'm guiding the journeys, and it's been really fun, really powerful.
I appreciate those everything decks like that. I have a couple that have signs, moon phases, eclipses, houses, and then some that also add in chakras or like witchy tools, crystals or feathers, that kind of thing. Herbs, so that if you don't have the physical thing, you can pull your card and have that as your representation. So I like that flexibility in components for your spells or rituals. I really strongly believe that we should be able to use whatever we already have at hand instead of it being a big, expensive business.
Yeah, I love that. And I definitely want to get ones with the houses and the eclipse as well because these are beautiful and they capture like the moon energy, but there's definitely a lot more happening in astrology all at the same time. And I'm trying to conceptualize it so it helps to have images around me that I can like look and feel into.
I agree. So on the sheet for today, I listed my favorite tarot app, Labyrinthos. That company or that individual, it's a one person deal as far as I know, um, has a deck that has all of those things in it. It's one of the ones I was thinking about as I was saying that, looking to see if I have it with me. I sometimes do. Yes, I think this is it. It's called Claves Astrologicae, which is just
Oh,
astrology
beautiful.
secrets. There's the title.
Oh,
This is from Labyrinthos, and I have a few of their decks and really like them. So got signs, Aries here.
oh wow.
Yeah, they're pretty cards. Planets.
Nice.
moon phases. And then the houses, which is what is next on my astrology learning journey. I don't know houses yet.
Yeah, this one's just lacking the houses and the eclipse type stuff, but it has the elements too, like earth, fire, and the planets. So it is pretty comprehensive, but when I'm trying to like understand my whole chart, I'm like, yeah, I need to understand the houses too. Like,
Yes. So the moon for today, because we just had a full moon, the moon is almost fully illuminated. It is waning. When I track moon phases, I am a lot more about whether it's new or full, and then whether it's waning, appearing to get bigger, or waxing. I'm sorry. The moon is waning right now, and that means it's appearing to get smaller, or whether it's waxing, appearing to get bigger on the way to the full moon. I don't try to complicate it with gibbous and those things. That's not really my jam. I like simple moon phases. So with the moon in Libra right now, we're looking at some balance. We're looking at some air signs here. And I think that a lot of people have been in a shifting mode for about 3 months, maybe 4 or 5 months for some people, with finding out what exactly isn't working for us and what we can shift to push that off the tray as if we were a cat or a baby. Just if you don't like it, you just push it off the table, kind of thing. Or what we can be doing instead that's a better balance for us instead of overgiving and that sort of thing. So I included a link for Crystal B. Astro. I don't think she's super widely known with the folks that I study astrology with, but I like her work. I have been part of her paid membership before for her monthly horoscopes and really like them. She's got a lot of resources that really boil things down to the useful parts. I will actually see if I can dig up the houses chart I have from her for you. Let me make a note now so I don't forget. All right, so our spread for today is the full moon business spread. And this is a Google Doc. It is a PDF in Google Drive, rather. And so the first sheet and second sheet are the same, just the second one is printer friendly if you like to print them out and have them. So we're going to go through the full moon spread at the bottom of the page. I do think it's fun to do other creators' spreads for the individual moon signs. For myself, though, and especially this is something that I have shared many times with clients and communities that I'm in, and I like to keep it simple, like the moon signs. Don't overcomplicate things for people.
Sorry, I missed it as I was pulling it up. Did you say we're doing the bottom one? The
Mhm.
forgive and thanks one?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and that echoes what you were saying, what to release and what has culminated, what you've really made happen and seen happen. All right, so first up, what to forgive with grace. And this can include yourself, a process, or an offer that didn't go perhaps how you wanted, maybe a potential collaborator where you just couldn't connect. I've got the star. And the star is about hope for what's ahead. We see Pleiades in the background, the seven sisters, a star system where the mythology is that they were placed in the sky as stars to protect them from a pursuer. And so now they've got a new place to be safe. And I feel like that's a perfect message for hope. And of course, we've got the 1 foot on land and 1 in the water. So we're grounded, but we're also in our intuition and allowing our deeper wisdom to speak to us. So I would say here, for me personally, this means forgiving myself for not allowing an opportunity the hope and excitement that made sense for it. Instead, just kind of going, all right, well, yes, I'll just shuffle along and we'll try this and maybe it'll work and blah, 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 blah. All right, next up is our belief or habit to release. And I've got the Ace of Cups. This is feeling like too many ideas. This is feeling like starting too many little blips here and there, as my probably 20 tabs would tell on me. Too many things at once. And I can tell you what everything is there for. I know what they all are, but that doesn't mean that it helps my focus at all. Okay, so question 3, what are we thankful for in our work? And I've got the Page of Swords. So this is swords are about the truth, about clarity and power, and cutting the bullshit really is the best way I can describe the Suit of Swords. And so the pages in tarot are the people who are learning about the mission the knight is about to go on. So the page is still stationary, settled here, basically supporting the knight who's about to go out and have the action and adventure. So just to be really literal, this is learning to cut the bullshit. So I am thankful that I'm learning to let go of some of the things I thought were necessary for appearance. And I am still working on, like I said, prioritizing that one thing for the day that really needs to get done for me to feel accomplished. Okay, what's rising for your work? We've got the 3 of Swords, and I don't physically reverse my cards, but I just sense when they are indicating the reversed meaning. Here, I think this is an upright, not I think, I feel that this is an upright card for us. So 3 of Swords for what's rising in our businesses. This may be a path to an offer that we were feeling into that may not go well. This feels like being too much in our heads because we are looking at the Suit of Swords, too much air instead of groundedness on the earth, and perhaps a bit too factual or clinical to really connect with the people the offer is for. So that is something to consider this week. Don't go axing every offer, but feel into it. And there are some things, excuse me, where after we've put in enough time to get to that Seven of Pentacles point where we can evaluate, then we can go, okay, so this thing is taking this much effort and I've got this much return. So at some point you cut your losses with things. There's a duality in that though, because we also want to stay with something long enough to give it time to work. So an intuitive business coach I had encouraged me to stick with one thing, one offer, promoting just the one thing for 3 months at a time to give it time to really land with followers who may see 1 out of every 5 posts or so, folks who may not get it the first time, or people who are interested but still need what some coaches say is about 15 to 20 touches or contacts with that information about the offer you're sharing. Sometimes people need to see it that often, that many times, before they feel comfortable to click into it and go, okay, now what's this about? Business work really is personal and spiritual work because we have to be able to manage that duality. It's not always pretty. Sometimes we want to give up too soon. Sometimes we want to hang on too long. And we really have to feel into our intuition about what feels good in our body or what feels most peaceful when we're looking at what to stop, what to continue, what to start. All right. Jess or Jen, would you like to share anything that you drew for that spread or any reflections on what we've talked about?
I was mostly just listening to your spread, and it really did resonate. Especially the part about like being too clinical sometimes. Because my day job is a mental health therapist, and I can be quite clinical, and it's hard to shift language sometimes.
Definitely.
So that really, really stood out to me. I also had a question, if it's okay, and we don't have to do it now, I can ask you later, but it's about this particular PDF.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was wondering if, since you're sharing it with us,
Mhm.
would it be possible, because I do similar stuff in my community, you know, around the moon and with cards,
Mhm.
would it be possible to either share the PDF in my community or like my drawing with the questions in the community?
Yes, you can share this PDF. It does have, as a PDF, it does have a hyperlinked logo in the bottom right corner. And to me, that's sufficient credit. That makes
Okay,
sense. So yes, you're welcome to share this with your community.
thank you so much.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily have a question, but and I was just listening to you for the reading.
Mhm.
As I said in the chat, it's been a morning.
Yeah.
Um, so I will share what I drew earlier when I was talking about that. My card, I am using the Super Attractor.
Gabby
Oracle deck.
Bernstein.
Yeah, by Gabrielle. Yeah, it's just what I grabbed out of the box. I don't think I've worked with it very much at all before. However, the card, like, I kind of feel like it's calling me out a little bit because I was having this thought yesterday, while I was sitting and waiting for people to show up to the coaching call, and when nobody did, which is totally fair. But it's not on me. It's not on anybody. It's just what happens. But the card that I drew says, when I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. And this is something that I was thinking about anyway, just over the last couple of days in the first place. When I started the current business that I'm running, like in 2025, it was with the intention and the idea that if I couldn't just do it for fun, I didn't want to do it. And it wasn't worth my time and effort because you never know what sales are going to be like. I didn't know if the idea of the whole thing was going to pan out. I mean, I saw little bits and pieces of validation before I even tried to start it up, which is the whole reason that I started it up, because I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. That's, it looks like some people need that anyway.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't know if you can hear the sirens going by. So yeah, this was I just kind of felt like the universe is poking me and saying, hey, remember you were supposed to be doing this for fun. This is not like a business that I have to depend on for an income. I have a full-time job taking care of my daughter, which I actually get paid for. And,
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm actually really grateful for it. I mean, Stephanie, you understand some of my situation with that.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So I'm really
caregiver.
grateful for that. And I think I kind of feel like I need to pin this up like right on my computer desk so I can remember it and just be reminded in the low points, which there have been more than enough of lately.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you very clearly with that. I feel like our mood affects other people the way scent spreads. So, to be slightly technical, we smell things like, say, a ripe fruit because it is letting off the tiniest little particles that are now floating through the air. That's how we smell something that isn't right at our face because the particles are traveling and then affecting us. And I feel like our mood does the same thing.
Yeah.
We get just little bits and pieces of information about another person's mood, and that affects the room. It affects how we are.
Yeah.
We get to choose how much we let it affect us, but it's information that we're receiving like a satellite dish.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Before we close for today, would anyone like a card drawn for them? Or I feel like a couple of cards, not a single card draw.
Sure.
Okay. What are we reading about? I think what's popping into my head is definitely just what information can I get about this medical situation that's happening? Yes. Okay. 2 came out at the same time. I had a feeling that was happening, which is why I said, or a few cards. A couple is what I said, and I got 2. So I may not have shuffled tremendously well, but what we have is the star. And I'm feeling like for this situation, for your question, we're looking at maybe this back foot on land is reminding me of a cause we haven't fully explored. Perhaps like diet would be an example. You may have already explored it, but something that's contributing, maybe air quality. Is that making a difference? Amount of sunlight, is that making a difference? I feel like there's something that isn't traditionally thought about that's affecting the situation.
Okay.
I feel like I've gotten something similar before for this question.
I don't know. I don't remember asking specifically here, so I don't know.
Okay. So is this one evolving situation that's continuing
It
over
is,
the last month-ish?
yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking early
Probably
on.
longer than that, but yeah.
Mhm. Yep. I'm thinking earlier on. Um, I drew a card and got that kind of feeling that it was something not necessarily checked
Okay.
routinely. Okay. And then um, vitamin and mineral levels come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe time for a blood panel.
Okay. Okay.
And then also related is the Ace of Cups. I feel like there's going to be a new person or energy coming into the care team that resets the balance. Their interaction moves the flow in a different direction, and that feels positive.
Good. We're actually seeing a new doctor tomorrow, so maybe it will be positive. I've been hopeful, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you go prepared. You know about interacting with doctors
Mm-hmm.
already from much experience. Remember that they need the facts up front or they can't listen properly. Doctors are so programmed that they need to hear the symptom, when it
Mm-hmm.
started, when it happens, how often. They need
Right.
those things up top, and then you can describe it further.
Right.
But otherwise, they just can't hear you. It has to come in that format.
Okay.
So if you start the other way around, they may not seem like they're listening, but they're trained. They it's just not flexible. They have to have those little facts up front.
Gotcha.
It's it follows kind of like the pain evaluation of where does it hurt, when did it start, what makes it better or worse, how long going on, which we said where does it start, and like how long are the episodes, those
Mm-hmm.
kind of details to orient them to the situation before they can really like put their thinking cap on.
Okay.
I feel like this is patient 101, but people don't get this. Like there's no book of life that's telling us these
Yeah,
things.
that's
After,
so true.
yeah, after working in it so long, it's habit. Like it's just ingrained for me to follow that pattern. But every time I talk to a friend or family member about going to the doctor and letting them know what's going on, this is like new information. So need to get the word out. All right, Jessica, what are we reading about? Um,
Some insight on how to get organized.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, the cards have been trying to come out of the deck since before I asked for your question. So they're ready. Okay, all right. So maybe a little calling out in a nice way. Nine of Pentacles, you've got a lot of nice things. You've got a lot of nice projects. And so giving thanks first before you go, the mess, is going to be key to actually getting it in order. And
Yeah.
seeing what you really have and what's valuable is going to help. So next up, we've got the Page of Pentacles. And the Pentacles are about, yes, money, wealth. Pentacles are also about our environment. And environment starts at the biggest level with what's outside around us. Coming in one level, it's our work. Coming in another level, like concentric circles, is our home. And then finally, the closest level is our body, our self. So I feel like this is bringing some new learning into your home, specifically the room that you have in mind. that will help you organize. And this is not going to be like a big thesis that you have to read about getting organized. It's going to be like a simple boom, 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 like a 3-step strategy that will support you in getting this room in order. And then we've got the King of Wands. So our kings are masters over their topic, and the wands are passions. And so this may also be a bit of a gentle call out regarding, you know, what all you're interested in, what all you're accumulating things from: information, courses, physical things, mementos. So figuring out what really has value. Will it matter in 5 years? Will it matter next year if I still have this, or if I don't? Or if I put this into storage, like long-term storage, or I don't? What you've used most recently is one way to look at stuff. It's one way I help myself organize, and how I get rid of clothes in my closet that I don't wear. I think about, like, when was the last time I wore this? Really? Not looked at it to wear, but actually used it. So I think there'll be a couple of simple things that will overlap and support you in getting organized. It'll be a little bit of a mindset shift.
Awesome. That makes sense. So like starting with the room, my desk, and then that'll help clear my mind to focus on like how to organize myself for business is what I'm hearing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. When you've got one clear space, that gives you enough room to breathe so that then you can actually get some inner wisdom moving.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we have gone over time, which is perfectly fine with me. I always have up to an hour, but I like to list it as 30 minutes because if I finish early, then I don't want people thinking, oh, I'll just click into the meeting, you know, at 10:35. So let's poll the audience. Would you rather I list it as an hour and have that like buffer time? Or does it make more sense to just list it as 30 minutes and maybe go over?
For me, I think 30 minutes and going over is fine because my calendar blocks are an hour. So if I do something 30 minutes, like an hour is put aside automatically.
Okay, that's a smart way to organize.
Yeah, I think I agree too. I think it also probably just helps encourage people to be here on time, to be here for the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you both so much. And Jess, I have a note to get you the houses chart from Crystal B. Astro if I still have it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, my dears, have a lovely day.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You
You're
as well.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.